Hi, welcome back. It has been a long time coming. I have left social media for a long time. I had so many things going on in my life. From, I think, January I abandoned this channel, and then I don't know, so many things happened and I didn't know what to do, what to say. I had a very big loss in my family. I had very poor mental health for a long time. I think I'm now ready to come back. I think I found joy in doing this again. So we're going to do this again. I abandoned you for a long while. I noticed there some of you are still here and I have somehow gained more subscribers in the meantime. That's weird. That's suspicious. What are you doing here? But yeah, let me introduce myself again. Hi, my name is Alice. I'm 23. I'm a compulsive reader and book collector. And today we're going to do a little bit of a mid-year book freakout tag, because it's a tag. It's like a comfort video. I have questions that I have to answer and I love answering questions. Okay, first question is best book you've read so far in 2022. The easiest question of my life. Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Incredible. I don't want to say anything about this book because you really have to go in blind, which I know a lot of people say this, but it's, you have to do this for this book. It's incredible, wonderfully written. Don't even read the synopsis, just buy it, read it. You'll thank me later. Best sequel you've read so far in 2022? Easy. It's from the Witcher series. This is Time of Contempt. The book that I'm talking about actually is Baptism of Fire. So good. I was very disappointed in all the fantasy that I've read so far this year, and then I discovered it's not because YA fantasy sucks. Well, kind of. It's because, for once, American YA fantasy does not appeal to me whatsoever. And it's so American! I am so sorry. It is very distant from what I like and what I love to see in fantasies. And then I discovered adult fantasies. Sapkowski, and then I'm going to talk about another author. They fill the hole in my heart for fantasies. Incredible. A new release you haven't read yet, but want to. Hell Follow With Us. It's a book about cults, and the protagonist, I think it's a trans kid, and it sounds incredibly cool. Everybody loves it. The cover art is, I mean, I would like this as a print. It sounds very 2022 book, like very refined, very diverse, very what I would like to read. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Do I even have to say it? I mean, if you don't know me, hi, me, Alice. Favorite book so far from the past decade. It's not my favorite book of all time, but it's close. It's Less by Andy Shangrier. Read it, couldn't stop thinking about it for, I think it's a year now. So Less is Lost is its sequel. I'm very scared, but I'm also very excited. Scared because if it's not as good, I'm going to be severely disappointed. But also excited because more Andrew Shangrier. Yes. Biggest disappointment. I don't want to generalize an author's writing from one single book. Everybody told me this was her best book. So, Conversation with Friends, really didn't like it. I don't like Sally Rooney's writing. I found it to be shallow. I found it to be very disconnected and not in a meaningful way. I even empathized with her character, which is a weird thing to say. I can acknowledge that because her characters are very flawed in her books. But no, that was a no. And the deep, meaningful conversation about capitalism, about borders, etc. that was promised in this book, so shallow. Like 3 lines of dialogue about that, disconnected from everything else. What was that? I don't know. Not for me. And I have Normal People in my hands because I bought Normal People in physical form thinking this would be my jam, and I'm very scared. If you've read Conversation with Friends and Normal People, can you please tell me which one is better? If I have to like give this away, please tell me. Biggest surprise. So I have three for three different reasons. The first one is Kitchen Confidential. I've watched one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking video essay about Anthony Bourdain, who was a phenomenal cook, a phenomenal chef, and he also traveled the world with food networks to discover the food of like the people who actually work in the day-to-day cooking business. And I read Kitchen Confidential because of that video essay. Incredible, so good. Anthony Bourdain wrote such like raw emotion in his essay, because these are like short stories about his life in the culinary business. So eviscerating, so funny, so raw, so I don't know. I loved it. I am severely Anthony Bourdain deprived. So I bought A Cook's Tour. This is the Italian edition, which I think it's a phenomenal translation. So if you're Italian, great. In terms of graphic novels, I picked this up randomly because I love the cover, and best graphic novel I've read in a long while. This is Beetle and the Hollow Bones. It follows a goblin called Beetle. She's not very skilled in magic, especially goblin magic, so she can't go to magic school. And she befriends a ghost in a shopping mall because it's a like modern fantasy. And this ghost cannot leave this mall. And then they discover that the mall is going to get destroyed and they're going to build something else on it, and the ghost is trapped there. So Beetle, with the help of her childhood friend who is a magic prodigy, has to help this ghost, and it's a sapphic love story. And I loved it. It was so cute, incredibly funny, poignant in the love story department, and I would love like several seasons of a cartoon based on this. It was so cute. Oh, and also for totally different reason, but it reminded me of Hollow Bones. Higher the Ninth. Didn't really like Getting the Ninth. Higher the Ninth, however, me and my friend read it together like a buddy read, and we had so many theories. Every chapter had us turning our heads, and we were like, we were gaslit by a book. That has never happened in all my years of reading. I was gaslit by a book. Like the true gaslight girl keep girl boss in a book. I was shocked, and I was so happy about it. So a favorite new author that I discovered. So my friends from theater, they are massive Robin Hobb fan, and they told me that her 16 to 18, I can't remember, I think it's 16 to maybe 19 book series that is made of like several separate trilogies and anthologies are so good. So I started her books. I am now on book 5, and they're all like 600 to 700 to 900 pages each. I've read 5 in a span of 2 months. I can say I'm addicted. They're very slow burn. They're very tough to get into, I think, in the beginning. It's, again, adult fantasy, but it feels the deep hole, the deep ache in my heart for fantasy that is well written, three-dimensional characters, deep storylines, so many characters that are all doing their separate things. Incredible! I love Robin Hobb. Also, Robin Hobb, the full, perfect genderqueer representation in the 90s. I am, yeah, get on that shit. If you have never read Robin Hobb, you have to get on that shit, on the train. Newest fictional crush. I don't get crushes on book, I don't have book crushes. Newest favorite character, now this. I've read a graphic novel. It's an Italian graphic novel called Disco Sogni. Giovanni from Disco Sogni, so gay, so perfectly 80s, 90s Italy, so Raffaella Carrà, wonderful. I loved him. I also love, I can't remember the girl's name, hilarious. I love their friendship. A book that made you cry. So, Robin Hobb is also famous for making books that are extremely painful. Assassin's Quest didn't cry. I was misty-eyed though, the whole book. The whole book. It was painful. I was also very happy about it though. Book that made you happy. I'm still reading this one. I read 100 pages in probably an hour in one go, and I stopped because I said, Alice, this is the last book this woman published. You have no more until possibly 2025. And it's Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I've read all Emily Henry books. Love them. She truly is a mastermind because I hate stereotypical cliche romances. These are stereotypical cliche romances, but they turn the cliche onto their heads because they're very self-aware, especially Book Lovers because it's about the book publishing industry. It's about the tropes. I am so in love with this book. It makes me so happy. Most beautiful book you've bought so far? Obviously Piranesi. Yeah, just look at it. Okay, this is the English edition. Look at the insides with the shells, and then you open it and it's like columns spelling Piranesi. It's incredibly beautiful. The Italian edition is not that beautiful. I have to say, English edition superior. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? So many, but I would love to finish Book Lovers. I'm going to finish this probably today. I don't want to though. I don't want to finish this. I want more Emily Henry. Why is this not like 600 pages? I really want to read the Atlas 6 because everybody told me it's very pretentious, Alexandrian style-esque of setting, and it's a fantasy that feels adult, but it's YA. So I don't know. I'm going to go with the Italian translation though. It has illustrations and they're all very beautiful, so I'm positive about it. Then, I didn't want to do this, but booktube convinced me that Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, it's good. Never read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book because I feel like it's going to be a Sally Rooney situation in which I hate this and then everybody's going to hate me. So I don't know. But Malibu Rising seems promising because the synopsis feels wild. It's a party, rich kids, and it's all like in one day, and it's separated into hours by chapters. So it feels fresh as a concept. I finished Mr. Impossible last year, and I'm waiting for Grey Warren. I have to know. I don't even know if it's the last book. I don't care. I'm going to read this. Am I going to love this? Probably not. I still have to know. It's a compelling read. And then, this is the book that I'm mostly anticipating. Me and my friend Sarah, it is one of our most anticipated book of the year ever in our lives. Nonna the Nymph, which in Italian is going to be translated as Nonna la Nonna, because nymph is nonna in Italian. Because Italian and Latin, very similar, you know? So, Nonna la Nonna. Yeah, I need this book. I need it. I don't need oxygen, I think. I need this book more. So, you know, this is the level we're talking about. I'm not active on Twitter anymore. I'm going to be again. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Loss of my family really hit me hard, but I do have a Twitter. I also have a Goodreads, even though it's acting up in these days. I don't know what's happening. And I also have an Amazon wishlist if you want to check that out. I don't know if it's updated though. And I do have TikTok. It's all in Italian though, so I don't know if you want the link, if you want to. I don't know. I'm happy to be back. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye!